What's going on, YouTube? How you doing? How you doing? First and foremost, man, hope y'all having a wonderful weekend, man. Hope y'all enjoying yourselves today. Being kind of wet out here in Dallas, man, and I ain't really been doing too much of nothing, man, but slipping and sliding as I'm taking my dog out for a walk so she can poop and pee pee. That's all I had to do today. But check this out, y'all. Oh, before I get started, thank y'all so much for the love, for the comments, man, for the support on my channel, man. I always would thank y'all for that, man. I humbly appreciate that. But before we get started, please hit that subscribe button for your boy. Please hit that subscribe button for your boy. Now, I was laying down, scrolling like I always do on social media. And ever since I've been doing YouTube videos and stuff like that, I've been finding certain African stuff. Maybe y'all have seen, but I haven't seen, and I haven't really paid attention. But I'm going to play this clip right quick of these Africans talking to this black American about who we are, where we come from, culture, and how other groups of people that's from Africa link up in America or see each other in America. They always talk about what country they from and blah, 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 blah. We're going to get to that in a minute. But here we go, y'all. Here go the video.
I'm from America. That's what we're saying. Just like a Jamaica, just like a no, hold on. Just like somebody from Jamaica, they're not going to say what country in Africa they from. Somebody in Haiti is not going to say what country from. They're going to say they're Haitian.
Because they were closer from what is it called, the triangular slave
but
trade.
But then when you ask them that question, they're not going to have a definitive answer.
That's because they're already in their own community of Caribbeans, the Haitians, Jamaica. They're all like in one bowl.
But Black Americans are in their own bowl as well.
The reason why I asked that, that's why Africans feel that way, because they feel like because you don't know where you come from, which is not by fault by Africa.
We know where we come from. We come from America, just like Jamaicans come from Jamaica. Like, what is the difference?
I think it's just more relatable from an African to see another African and be like, oh, where you come from? Oh, I'm from Ghana. I'm from this place. And they know so much about their culture because they do this, and this. So I feel like that's why they feel like you know so much about your culture in Africa. So that's why they're like, well, Americans don't know, because honestly, you guys don't know. When Africans come
now, y'all heard that clown mess that was said in that video. Now, let me start off by the part that just peed me off. She said that we don't know who we are. We do know who we are. We know who we are better than Africans know who they are. We have records of who we are in America. Majority, I'm going to say, I'm finna be so ignorant and naive, y'all. But I'm going to say the majority, I'm going to say 97% of Africans don't even know how their great-grandmothers or great-grandfathers look. They don't even know how they look. Let alone the name, they don't even know how they look. Think about that. Majority of Black Americans have a picture of their great-grandparents or met their great-grandparents. Majority of us know our grandmothers. Africans don't really know their grandmothers. Most of their grandmothers and grandfathers don't live past 54 years old where they come from. So the audacity of these people with this arrogance of themselves to think that we don't know who we are in America. They don't even know their birth dates. They don't know the day or the time they was born in Africa. My mother was born in 1957. My grandmother was born in 1927. That's wild, ain't 2757. But that's when they was born. They know their birth date and time, the time they was born. My dad was born in 1955. He know the date and the time he was born. My grandfather was born in 1929. He know the date and the time he was born. Ask an average African what time they was born. They couldn't tell you what time they was born. They don't even know the date they was born in. But for them to have the arrogance to act like we do not know who we are. These Africans don't know who they are. Y'all gotta think, Black America, think about ever since the Berlin Conference, There's been tribal wars with these Africans in the West Africa and in the middle of Africa. Maybe not South, but in Africa in general, it's been wars. So these people been running left to right, hiding over here, camping over here, doing things over there, getting chased from over there to back over here. There's nothing that these people would know about themselves. Impossible. These people come from war-torn countries, man. We've seen the videos growing. I'm 43, so I'm pretty sure people older than me have seen the wars going on. These people running to different places in Africa to hide. Even running to North Africa where they being enslaved at. And these people, these funky foot flip-flop wearing people gonna say, we don't know who we are in America? Then she gonna ask the man, well, where you from? Dude said America. No, where are you from? Dude said America. God, let me slow down. I was about to say something. Oh, Jesus. These people should be in these classes where, y'all remember them classes back in high school where it was this class where they never left when the bell rang? Those are Africans. We call them class 58 kids. Class 58 kids were the slow kids that never left. We barely saw them do lunchtime. Matter of fact, they go lunch at 10 o'clock like they're in elementary school. We in high school now, and the slow... Oh, God, boy, I'm about to say something else crazy. But the slow kids got to go to lunch at 10 o'clock in high school. That's these Africans. The Africans are the slow kids of high school. We tell these people we are not continental Africans, bruh. We're not. We're not y'all. We know where our land is at. This is where our ancestors are buried at. What they can't get through their mind. They don't do the Jamaicans like this. They don't do the Filipinos like this. They don't do the Aboriginals out there in Australia like this. They don't even do the people in Canada like that. They don't do the UK people like this. They don't do nobody like this around the world except who? The Black Americans, the Negro. Why is that, y'all? You know why? Because they jealous of us. Because guess what? They got this low self-esteem about themselves. Because like I always say, they come from countries, right, where their mud hut is better than all the other mud and boo-boo huts around in their little village and their little tribes and stuff. So they have a little more perks. You know what I mean? This person might get water bags delivered to them, but the other person might have to walk and fetch they pail of water like they Jack and Jill going up the hill to fetch a pail of water. So they think they better than the person that got to go up the hill and get the water. So they come over here, like I always say, they come over here and get with the real kings and queens of the world. The real movers and shakers. The real things where you have white people scared of you. White folks don't just react to us when we walk by just for nothing. No, they know there's fear. They fear us. They don't fear African. They don't fear Caribbean. A white person can't come to a black neighborhood like they come to y'all African countries and do the food to y'all. A Chinese person can't come to our black neighborhood, but they can go to y'all and whoop y'all ass. There's no videos of Chinese folk kicking our ass. And guess what? Every time a Chinese person put their hand on a black person, their business got shut down. We was in front of that motherfucker. We are Americans. We're not continental Africans. There's nothing great about Africa. In my opinion, I'm speaking for myself, y'all. Y'all that's FBA or Solon or indigenous or American freedmen or descendants of slaves or descendants of emancipated people, whatever you want to claim yourself to be, I'm speaking for Brian, right? I'm speaking for Brian Jehovah. I do not see nothing significant about Africa. I'm not connecting myself to Africa. I don't give a damn if it's true that I have African genes and African DNA. I despise that notion. I don't believe in that notion. And I would never ride for that notion at all. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me catch this call. Yeah, my bad. I ain't done with these funky Africans. I ain't African. And I just think it's a slur to me when people say you're African or you from Africa and stuff like that. That's a slur to me. That's just like a white person call me a nigga. You call me African. You call me saying I'm the descendant of Africa. You say I got ancestors in Africa. Nah, man, that's disrespectful to me. I'm wiping all that out of my vocabulary, bro. I refuse to be connected to them folks, man. I tell these people, I'm from Antarctica. I'm descendants of Antarctica. That's my theory. I think I'm from Antarctica. I think I come from the cold ice parts of the world. I don't think I come from no funky ass Africa. Yeah, that it's just the arrogance of them talking about our culture. We don't know what our culture is. What's African culture? What is African culture? That's why I want to know. I've been out there before. What is their culture? Africans don't have a culture. Ask a funky flip-flop wearing African, what is their culture? And they will be like, what do you mean? I dealt with these folks on TikTok on lives, and they used to tell us black Americans have no culture. But I asked these funky flip-flop wearing, whoo, Jesus, let me calm down. I asked these Africans, what is their culture? And they always talk about this clicking language or this language or whatever. I said, okay, that's cool. I understand it's part of your culture. I get it. But their culture is not significant. Their culture don't move mountains. Their culture don't do nothing. It doesn't do nothing. So who gives a damn about what an African got going on? Man, that stuff like that pisses me off, man. That's why I don't have respect for them. That's why I don't too much care for them. That's why I don't care what happened to them sometimes, man. And sometimes it's not hate. It's not hate. It's just them just disrespecting us and not understanding who the real kings and queens is. Yeah, my bad, y'all, boy. I tell you, my bad. See, the ancestors keep stopping me from saying some wild, mean stuff about them funky Africans. It's the reason why I got a phone call. It's the reason why I came in my door, deliver a package. It's the reason, bro. It's the reason for all this stuff. We know more about Africans than Africans know about themselves. Them people can't tell you their culture. Them people can't tell you who they are for real. Them people can't trace back to the 1800s on who they are. You know, when we do our genealogy, not a DNA test, I'm talking about when we do our genealogy, y'all know that feeling you get? You know what I'm saying? It's like a ancestral feeling. It's like a spiritual feeling. It's like that feeling when you get when you go to a church and that one sister and that one man, they just singing that gospel song right in front of you, and it just brings tears to your eye. That's how it feels when you're doing your genealogy and you find certain some of your ancestors in the 1800s, in the late 1700s. Them funky Africans can't do that. Them monkey-eating Africans can't do that. Them non-bathing Africans can't do what we do. But we can. We can. That's why I think it's highly disrespectful when they come to us and say, well, we don't know who we are. We know who we are. We know who we are better than anybody in this world. Y'all don't know who y'all are. Y'all don't. Y'all got customs. Y'all don't have culture. Y'all got customs that don't mean nothing. Y'all, you know what y'all culture is? Some of y'all African culture is, one of them that I know for sure is marrying little kids. That's what y'all into. That's part of African culture. Not all Africans, but most of y'all culture is dealing with kids that's 12 years old or younger, or the ones that reach the age of maturity, meaning when they get their first period. That's y'all culture. That's what y'all into. That's not black American culture. That's something we don't pick up on. Cleanliness is part of our culture. Resistance is part of our culture. Creating and inventing things is part of our culture. Educating the world is part of our culture. Music is a part of our culture. Fighting back is a part of our culture. And everybody want to copy that. I'm not even mentioning food and all that other stuff. That's cool, but food is part of our culture too. We have language. We have Tut language out here. We have Ebonics out here, which was a great language at one point in time until white people shamed it out of black folks. That was our language. Y'all have nothing, bro. Y'all have nothing I want to look at and be like, man, I want to be like an African, man. I want to walk around the world with a thong twig on. You know what I'm saying? I want my woman just rub herself with dirt and mud all over her body instead of rubbing her body with cocoa butter, shea butter and stuff on her body. I'd rather my woman have shea butter on her body so she can be glistening. Boy, I tell you. Boy, I tell you, I had to stop myself a few times. Because I know my mouth can be very slick sometimes. So sometimes I have to crack jokes to keep myself from saying certain harmful or hateful things. Because I'm not a hateful person. I go on white folks harder. You know what I'm saying? I have this thing a little bit when I talk about them compared to the Africans. But it just, I think what irked me with these Africans is I know what an African is. I know how they live. I know how they are uncivilized. That's just a fact. And I just think it's just crazy to me to see them do that. It's just like a homeless person saying I'm dirty. But I got a clean suit on. He said, man, your suit dirty, man. You wasted some sour cream on your shirt. You dirty as hell. But nigga, you got stains on you. You smell like pee. You know what I'm saying? You got beer stains on you. You got crack residue on you. But you saying because I got this little stain on my jacket, you gonna come at me about that? Nah, nigga, look at yourself before you even talk to me about having a stain on me. That's just like a person without a car. Complain about I ain't got no air in it. But you ain't got no car. So what you telling me about because I ain't got no air? You the one need a ride. I ain't asked you for a ride. You asked me for a ride. Anyway, my bad, y'all. My bad. I'm gonna do more videos on this too. I think I'm gonna do about two or three more videos on this this month because I want to really elaborate more on our culture and how Africans ain't have no culture. Oh, this is another thing she said. She said, oh yeah, when Africans see other Africans in America, you know, they'll acknowledge like, hey, I'm from Ghana. I'm from South America. I'm from South Africa. I'm from Kenya. I'm from Nigeria. Duh, motherfucker, y'all from Africa. So yes, you gonna say you from there. If I go to Africa and let's say I go to Nigeria, right? And I run into some Americans, hey man, where you from? What part of US you from? Oh man, I'm from Texas. Oh, for real, bro, I'm from Mississippi, man. But guess what? I was staying in Texas before I moved out here. That's how I go. That's how slow these people is. You gonna run into people that you're familiar with. We don't look at people that live in different states as a different tribe as an enemy. So it probably was shocking to you that you ran to another African that's not from your tribe, not from your country, but y'all have some camaraderie because y'all from that poverty continent of Africa. That's all it is. There's another weird thing. I'm going to do a video on this too, on how these Africans be talking about like, if something going on in America, I get to go back to my homeland. I get to go back. Y'all ain't got nowhere to go, Black Americans, you know. So, hey, if I had to go back to Africa, if I had to go back to Zimbabwe or Nigeria, you know, and swim in the boo-boo water, I got somewhere to go. Duh, nigga, you an immigrant. You a refugee. You a fleer. That's your home. Because guess what, Africans? If there was a war going on in Africa, and I'm living, let's say I'm living in Kenya, or I'm living in Nigeria, or I'm living in Zimbabwe, I'm living in Rwanda, or somewhere like that. Guess what? If there's a war going on, and I'm in your country living as an immigrant, guess what? I can go back to America. I don't have to stay there and deal with you tribal wars. I can say I got somewhere to go to. And it's not in this funky land that you live in that you call your home. But anyway, y'all have a good one, man. I'm sorry for the cutters in the video, but I think the ancestors were stopping me from saying what I was about to say. But anyway, y'all be safe.